Good morning, dear students. My name is Alibekova. I'm a teacher of English in Nazarbayev Intellectual School of Physics and Mathematics in Astana. Welcome to our online lessons. Today we are going to speak about writing tasks. We are going to discuss some strategies that may help you to writing task 2 successfully. You will understand the titles. So this is the topic of our lesson. You will be able to analyze the titles of the essay according to the task and to practice the structure of the essay. Let's remember. Do you remember that writing task consists of 2 parts? Yes, you do remember. The first task is when you are asked to describe a graph, and the second task you will be given a task to write an essay. There are different types of essay: for and against, opinion essay, a discursive essay, a providing solutions to problems essay. So, if you are asked for and against essay, you should remember that this is a formal piece of writing in which a topic is considered from the opposing point of view. You should present both sides in a fair way by discussing them objectively in an equal detail. The second, opinion essay, expresses your personal point of view on some controversial problem in writing. The main aim of an opinion essay is to persuade your readers of your position or your position is correct. Discursive essay is a type of essay that discusses a problem or a controversy or a recent issue. This essay is informal, but very often it should be written in a formal manner. The last one, essays providing solution to problems. Here, the problems are associated with a particular issue or a situation which should be analyzed, and possible solutions should be put forward together with any expected result or consequences. The writer's opinion may be mentioned directly or indirectly in the introduction or in the conclusion. Dear students, please have a look at these essays and decide which type of essay they are. You should work together with your partners. Now let us discuss your answers. Are you in favor of or against exams being abolished? Of course, this is an opinion essay. If you have written an opinion essay, you're right. Great job. The advantages and disadvantages of being famous. This is a for and against essay. What can we do to reduce global litter? In this essay, you will provide solution how to solve this problem. A role of cinema in today's society. It's a discursive essay. Now, dear students, let us analyze 3 extracts and define their type. You should work in pairs. Then you should be divided into groups of 3 to compare your answers. You have some time to do it. Please read very attentively and think of keywords that may help you. Good luck, my dear students. So, I'm going to read the passage, then I will tell you my version. You should compare it with yours. As foreign travel becomes increasingly cheap and convenient, more and more people are discovering new places. Many prefer them to their own countries and decide to move there. But is living abroad as easy as it seems? So, it is a typical for and against essay. If your decision like mine, then it is correct. Global litter is an ongoing concern which many nations have to deal with. Fortunately, there are a number of possible solutions which could lead to permanent reduction in waste that has mounted up in countries around the world. A providing solutions to problems essay. And the last one. Is too much emphasis placed on examinations result today? In my view, their role needs to be re-examined if they are to continue to play a part in the educational system. Do you think that it is an opinion essay? Do you? Yes, it is an opinion essay. Dear students, let's continue our practice. I would like you to read the following topics and say which is a for and against essay and which is an opinion essay. You should work individually first, then compare your work with your partners. Good luck. Okay, listen to me. Cinema will soon be a thing in the past. It's an opinion essay, right you are. Advantages and disadvantages of being a singer. It is for and against. Are the newspapers necessary nowadays? You ask a question. So it is an opinion essay. Advantages and disadvantages of keeping animals in zoos. So this is a for and against essay. If your answers like mine, great job. Congratulations. Dear students, it's time to watch the video. Please, while watching, be very attentive and make a list of useful advice that the authors of the film are going to present to us. Let's watch the video.
Hi, my name's Pete. I'm an IELTS tutor and the company director of eEnglishTeacher.com. In this video, I'm going to show you an example of how to answer an IELTS Writing Task 2 question. As you probably know, in IELTS Writing Task 2, you have to write an essay of 250 words or more on a particular topic. The question that I'm going to use in this video is a type of question that's common in both IELTS Academic and IELTS General Training. The question is from one of our ebooks called How to Answer IELTS General Training Writing Task 2 Questions, and I'll give you some more information about our ebooks later in this video. In a moment I'll show you the question, which is about the main purpose of zoos, and the first thing that I'd like you to do is to read the question and think about how many different views about the main purpose of zoos are described in the question, and how many different views you have to write about in your answer. You may want to pause the video so that you can read the question before I continue talking. So, as you can see, the question includes two different views about what the main purpose of zoos should be. And your task is to discuss both of these views. So you need to talk about more than one view in your answer. And you need to state which of these views, if either, you agree with most. I'm now going to show you a sample answer to this essay question, and when you read it, I'd like you to decide if the writer has written about both views and given their own opinion. You don't need to understand every word in the sample answer to see which views the writer has included, but you may want to pause the video again to give yourself enough time to read the essay. So, as you may have noticed, the writer does include some reasons why zoos should focus on educating people about animals. They do include some reasons why zoos should focus on animal conservation. And they do include their own opinion that although it is important for zoos to do some work on animal conservation, it is more important for them to focus on educating people about animals. You may also have noticed that the writer writes about the view they agree with least before the view they agree with most, which is the logical way to write a discussion essay like this in English. What this IELTS writing task and sample answer show is that it's very important to read the question carefully and include everything you are asked to write about in your essay. If you don't include everything you are asked to write about, for example, if you only write about one of the views in the question I've shown you, then you will lose marks for the content of your writing, which will make it more difficult to get the IELTS writing band score you need. The essay task and sample answer in this video are from our IELTS ebook, How to Answer IELTS General Training Writing Task 2 Questions. We also have an ebook called How to Answer IELTS Academic Writing Task 2 Questions. Both of these ebooks contain a unit about the actual process of writing an essay, the most common types of IELTS Writing Task 2 question and sample answers for each of these tasks, and units to help you understand how to write an introduction, how to write body paragraphs, and how to write a conclusion to your essay. All of the sample answers in the ebooks are written by experienced IELTS teachers from New Zealand, the UK, and the USA. There are also lots of IELTS tips included to help you get a higher IELTS writing band score. You can find more information about our IELTS ebooks on our website at www.e-englishteacher.com.
Dear students, you have noticed that the announcer said a good essay should consist of introduction, main part or its a body, and conclusion. So, you should remember this structure. Any essay you write, you should start with the introduction. Main body or main part comes next. And you should finish your essay with a good, balanced conclusion. You will watch the video once again.
Hello there. Today we're going to talk about IELTS Writing Task 2. I'm going to give you a certain format or structure as to how to write the IELTS Writing Task 2, how to attempt it. The reason I'm doing this video is that lots of people have asked me how to write IELTS Writing Task 2, or what format to follow, or something like that. So I'm going to give a format, but obviously there is no certain specified format or structure given by the authorities as to what brings you the best score in IELTS writing. So you can write in any way that you want, but many candidates feel better, feel assured if they have a certain structure or a format to begin with, sort of like a beginning point, a starting point on which you can build upon. So here goes. We're going to talk about the agree or disagree version of IELTS Writing Task 2. That is the most common one. The question would usually give you a certain topic and ask whether or not you agree or disagree to it. Rather, it would, to be very specific, it would say to what extent you agree or disagree. That is how it words the question. So, for example, it could be women are better teachers than men. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Now, obviously, there can be logics on both sides for agreeing or disagreeing. You don't have to totally agree or totally disagree. You can sort of be in the middle, or you can discuss both the views and then express your opinion. So this format that I'm going to give, but this is the starting point. You can build upon it. So let's see how it goes. We're going to start with something like this. The discussion that whether or not blank is a debatable one. There are logics provided by supporters of both the views. So there is a good number of words you have already got out of the 250 that you need. Now what you need to do is fit the question into the blank. Now let's try an example. This is Cambridge IELTS book number 6, Writing Task 2. The question says, today the high sales of popular consumer goods reflect the power of advertising and not the real needs of the society in which they are sold. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Now, what we can write is the discussion that whether or not, then we had a blank. So in the blank we can put the high sales of popular consumer goods reflect the power of advertising. So the sentence would read something like this. The discussion that whether or not the high sales of popular consumer goods reflect the power of advertising is a debatable one. Then the next sentence follows, which is something like there are supporters of both the views, or you can say there are logics provided by supporters of both the views. So let's try and apply this format to another example. This is Writing Task 2 of test number 3 of the same book, which is Cambridge IELTS 6. The question says, some people believe that visitors to other countries should follow local customs and behavior. Others disagree and think that the host country should welcome cultural differences. Discuss both the views and give your own opinion. Although it doesn't say to what extent you agree or disagree, it basically means the same thing. So let's try and apply our format to this question. So we can say the discussion that whether or not visitors to other countries should follow local customs and behavior is a debatable one. There are strong logics provided by supporters of both the views. There you go. We've started answering the question. So that was the introduction. Now you have to move into the main body of the answer. And now you can do it in a couple of ways. One way is to provide the logics of the other side. Basically, if you are going to agree, then you can provide the logics that might be provided by the supporters of disagree. Then obviously you refute those logics and provide your own logic, and you come to a conclusion which supports your idea. So, well, I mean, obviously, as we're discussing the format here, so we're not going to draw up a full answer in this video, but hopefully in another video in future. And then obviously the conclusion that would make up the 250 words, or roughly say 260 or 70, something like that. So you don't really need to go beyond that. You can mention the three logics of the other side at one go and then come to your view, or you can do it one by one. So if you are going to agree, then you can provide one disagreeing logic and then one agreeing logic refuting that, and then the second one disagreeing, and then your logic which would agree to the topic, then the third one the same way. So the two ways are, let's encapsulate things here. You can provide three logics of the other side, 1, 2, 3. I mean, obviously you don't write 1, 2, 3, but the three logics at one go, and then your own views in a separate paragraph. Or you can provide in one paragraph your opposite logic and then your own logic in the same paragraph. So in in another paragraph you provide the logic of the other side and then your logic, and in another paragraph you provide the third logic of the other side and then refute it. So the three paragraphs you can do that way. Then obviously then you come to a conclusion, and you can start your conclusion with something like this. To conclude, I can say that blah 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 or something like that, or you can say to encapsulate, or you can say to recapitulate, or any of those beginnings for the conclusion, and then you say I believe that blah blah blah, whichever your conclusion is. So that is basically the format of IELTS Writing Task 2 argumentative answer. In one of my next videos, I'm going to give you a full answer. Hopefully this format would get you through. All the best. Take care. Bye-bye.
So, according to the author, a good essay should consist of introduction, where you state the topic, main part, which may consist of paragraph 1 and paragraph 2, and you should finish your essay with a balanced consideration of the topic, which is in the conclusion. Now we are going to speak about opinion essays. In the introduction, dear students, state the topic and your opinion clearly. Pay attention to the main part. It differs from the previous one. How many paragraphs does the opinion essay should have? Look at the slide. You're quite right. The opinion essays should have 3 paragraphs. The first paragraph, where you express viewpoint 1 and the reason. The second paragraph, you present viewpoint 2 and again the reason. And in the third paragraph, you give the opposing viewpoint and reasons. You are allowed to relate your opinion in conclusion, but be careful. You need to use quite different words. While writing the essay, there are some points to consider. Decide whether you agree or disagree with the subject, and make a list of points and reasons. Write well-developed paragraphs consisting of more than one sentence. Don't forget that you must begin each paragraph with a topic sentence, which summarizes what the paragraph is about. Linking words are very important. Use them throughout your essay. My advice to you, to learn all of them. While writing, it is necessary to find good phrases and words. So now we are going to speak about useful language. If you want to express your opinion, you should use I believe, in my opinion, I think, in my view, I strongly believe, the way I see it. It seems to me that. If you want to list the points, you should start like this. In the first, at first, first of all, to start with, firstly, to begin with, secondly, thirdly. Of course, you will add some points while writing. Such phrases are used to add some points. What is more, another major reason, also, furthermore, moreover, in addition to this, that, besides, apart from this, not to mention the fact that. Of course, your essay will have some contrasting viewpoints. To introduce them, you should use such phrases as it is argued that, people argue that, opponents of this way say, there are people who oppose, contrary to what most people believe, as opposed to the above ideas. Guys, you shouldn't miss any examples. The examples play a very important role in your essay. To introduce them, use the following phrases. For example, for instance, such as, in particular, especially. So, we came to the conclusion. To conclude, to sum up, all in all things considered, taking everything into account. These phrases should be written at the very start of your conclusion. If you ask me about my favorite one, I like such phrase as taking everything into consideration, and continue writing my conclusion. Guys, you shouldn't forget these things. You should decide carefully whether you agree or disagree with the subject. Think how to write well-developed paragraphs. Your paragraphs should have more than one sentence. Begin each paragraph with a topic sentence which summarizes what the paragraph is about, and use linking words throughout your essay. Well, my dear students, you have some time to read this task. You need to read it individually first and to choose the right topic. Then work in pairs and discuss your ideas. Okay, I'm going to read the first one. Over the past few years, people have begun to travel places they would only have dreamt of visiting 30 years ago, thanks to the possibilities offered by air travel. In my opinion, traveling by plane cannot be compared with any other means of transport. So, what is it, my dear students? Yes, you're quite right. This is the introduction of the opinion essay. To start with, there really is no faster way to travel. You can go from one country to another in a matter of hours, which gives you time to enjoy the actual purpose of your trip, rather than waste time traveling by train or grabbing your luggage around. You are quite right. This is the first paragraph of the main body. So, in this essay, you need to discuss the advantages and disadvantages of traveling by plane. You may think that the topic of the essay may be the plane is the most convenient means of traveling. Give your opinion on this statement. My dear students, our lesson is coming to the end. So your home task may be, you should think about the topic for your opinion essay. As soon as you have it done, give your topic to your partner and discuss it with your partner. Any other useful resources you may find here on these sites. And if you have a book for IELTS second edition, which was written by McCarter, Easton and Ash, it will give you some other very useful ideas how to write different types of essay. Virginia Evans also published a very interesting and useful book, which is devoted to writing. Its name is Successful Writing. You may use it. Dear colleagues, all the information connected with our lesson may be found here on our site. Thank you for your attention and participation in the lesson. Goodbye.